Let's look at number 11 here. So and if you notice, 11 through 18 are powers of I, big powers of I. So you have to remember the fact that I squared is equal to -1, okay? And that's what we're going to use. So we want to break these down into I squareds, or I squareds to powers. Let's look at 11, and then we're also going to look at 17. So if I have I to the 34th, think of it this way. I could say that's I squared inside parentheses, and then I have to put my outside power right here. Well, power to an outside power, I'd multiply exponents, so it would be to the 17th power. So that's I squared in parentheses to the 17th. Because if I did my power to power here, I'd get I to the 34th. Now, why did I do that? Because what's I squared equal to? -1. So this really means -1 to the 17th power. If you do -1 to an odd power, so that's odd right there, that means I'm multiplying -1 together an odd amount of times, 17 times, the answer would be -1. So my answer to I to the 34th power is -1. If I get I to the 83rd power, now notice I'm starting with an odd power up there. So what you want to do is I want to break it down into one less than that odd power, which is I squared, or I to the 82nd times I to the 1st. Because my exponent rule says that would be the case. Now, I'm going to do this I to the 82nd similar to what I did with I to the 34th. I'm going to write it as I to the 41st to the second power. So I'm going to have, and then I have times this I that's left right here. Well, that's -1 to the second power times I. I'm sorry, I got these backwards. Sorry about that. This should be I squared inside here, 41 on the outside. So it's going to be -1 to the 41st power. So if I do -1 to an odd power, okay, it's going to be -1, but then this one's multiplied by I, so it would be -1I or just -I. So basically on all of these in this section, when you have I to a big power, we got an answer of -1. We also got an answer of 1 that's -I. The other answers you could get are +1 and +I. Those are the only 4 answers you can get. And it all comes down to putting them in I squareds, even or odd powers, and things like that. But those are the only 4 possibilities to get right there.